$3.7 billion compensation for BOBI Wine and other victims. Uganda Army, produce Honorable Kyagulanyi, BOBI Wine, Zake, the woman bleeding from her private parts and the other tortured victims immediately before press. The world must see how Uganda's presidential guard has disfigured these innocent people. Lawyers, activities, parliamentarians, opposition leaders, Ugandans, concerned people everywhere, this is a time humanity urgently needs your help. Nature is calling you to stand in for the survival of the weaker. Don't let them down. If an M.P. gets such treatment, what will happen to the millions of the voiceless, yourself, your family and loved ones? Therefore, immediately file a case against the government. Kyagulanyi, Zake, the woman bleeding from her private parts and the others badly tortured should be 1. Given the urgently needed medical treatment at a private hospital before they die. 2. Compensated with a minimum of $100,000 US dollars per person. 3. The false charges of firearm possession should be immediately withdrawn from Honorable Kyagulanyi. The guns were planted by the police. You cannot beat up, arrest and chase away free press when arresting a person, and days later reveal random firearms as evidence against the suspect before the same press. Let the world not believe this lie, which is intended to hide the blame and shame of the army. It should be these victims suing the government, not the reverse. The government must be aware of this and is hoping their trick will save them from their responsibility. But we shall not let it work. 4. The family of the shot driver of Honorable Kyagulanyi, Sentamu, should be compensated with a minimum of $100,000 US dollars. Evidence is clear that he was deliberately shot by the same soldiers, and he was left to die alone in cold blood in the car seat. Uganda police spokesman, Mr. Kyagulanyi said on TV that he could not rule out if the shot man was dead, since it is the responsibility of doctors. Why then was this man not given the least of medical help by police, if he could have been still alive? You don't want to die alone like this. Alright? Therefore, his family should be compensated with a minimum of the sum mentioned above. If you need resources to sue the government, set up an avenue for Ugandans to contribute or ask me to fundraise, you will have resources in abundance. Otherwise, have your costs compensated as well. These compensations cannot replace the pains, sufferings and death these innocent people have been subjected to, but they are urgently required to 1. Afford them deserved medical treatment. 2. Compensate lost possibilities to acquire wealth through their own work, according to extent of injury. 3. Compensate the physical and mental pain, which they and their families, friends and loved ones are experiencing. 4. Enable the government to realize the magnitude of the wrongs done to these people and put pressure on soldiers to be professional and respect human life, as the Army has been in the past years. These compensation demands are minimum figures and may be increased, according to the extent of torture, pain and suffering of the victims. The demands you are asked to file are intended for the good of all Ugandans. Yes, even for the good of the government. Without allocating blame, compensate these victims and you will see the positive changes in the armed forces and society. Solve this issue immediately. Release all victims before Sunday, 19th of August 2018 and compensate them. If Honorable Kyagulanyi is not released by Saturday, 18th of August 2018, international institutions are at your door. Should he appear in the Army Court on the 23rd of August 2018, you will face the EU, I.C.C, international press and Mr. Donald Trump himself. The pressure on you and compensation demands would be a lot higher in this case. Not to mention the increasing popularity of Honorable Kyagulanyi. In good faith for all. Objective, free and non-biased. Overseer overall.